We can't wait to see the dragon. I just can't wait to see the dragon. Oh, man.
So look, I want to talk about the dragon. Warner Brothers, don't show us the dragon. Do not let anyone see the dragon.
If anyone from our wonderful family at Warner Brothers and marketing is in the room, please do. Yes, my friend, I love you. You guys, remember what happened with Super 8? I understand that Mr. J.J. Abrams had it in his contract that the Beast would not be shown ever in any poster, clip, image, or trailer. And it was not, and it was so effective. So effective. So please don't show us the dragon. Even though we're acting like this, you know, we really want to see it. Let's just wait until the magic moment when it happens in the film. Thank you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
This image is available at the One Ring, obviously photoshopped, and you could make it your screensaver should you choose to.
Oh, good, good. We actually have the return of Ian McKellen as Gandalf the Grey. This time, not Gandalf the White. And speaking of, do we have a simulacrum of Gandalf the Grey? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, look, we have a guest. Come. Listen.
Yeah. Thank you, Gandalf.
Thank you, Gandalf. That's lovely.
That, by the way, might be the tallest Gandalf in the wide world.
That is, wow. Darth Vader-sized Gandalf. Wow.
Or bigger. Bigger.
And who has returned? Sir Christopher Lee. Now, I'm going to speak for the briefest moment because I do have a very deep wound on my heart that has never gone away. I always wanted Sir Christopher Lee to be included in the SAG Award. When the ensemble won for The Return of the King, for some strange reason, Mr. Christopher Lee's name was not mentioned. And if there is another SAG Award in the future for the Hobbit cast, and perhaps there will be, I hope that this time Sir Christopher is not omitted. Is everyone with me on that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
One of our insider bits of information today was going to be that for sure Saruman is in the film. We think most people know that. But that, remember earlier I said break in parentheses of shooting? We were going to reveal and say, hey, we have really good information that currently in London with Christopher Lee, they're filming parts of The White Council. However, Peter Jackson on Facebook last night absolutely revealed that as plainly as can be. So it's no longer a secret. But really, we had great information. But very cool, and I'm delighted, and it's so appropriate and right that he's involved. And I've obviously not met Mr. Lee, but I love the guy. I just really have a soft spot, so it's great news.
Yes, it is. Now, we as fans never really got to see within the pages of The Hobbit what kind of conversations Galadriel and Elrond and Saruman were having with Gandalf, and whether or not Radagast showed up or not in those meetings, I'm not sure. But he has been cast, and he is being played by Sylvester McCoy, Doctor Who. The Seventh Doctor. Yes, the Seventh Doctor.
Yes, let's be clear. That image is not of Sylvester McCoy. That is from the trading card game.
Yes. There was an extraordinary trading card game, and our friends at Weta did makeup and designs for the new characters that only appeared just on the printed cards, and that was their Radagast.
So it's really cool. That is not
design.
Sylvester McCoy. This is where we can reveal things that we think are true. We don't know for sure, but we've heard from good sources that Radagast will be a significant part of this film. It will not be a walk-on role. Hey, Radagast, how's it going? All right. He will be a significant driving force in at least one of the films. He lives in Mirkwood. He loves animals. He talks to animals. In fact, maybe to his character's detriment, he became completely invested in the animals of Middle-earth. And, of course, where does the necromancer live? In The Hobbit. And where are all the evil spider, all the kind of the bad things of the world are there. And his disappearance from Middle-earth is a bit mysterious. It's not fully explained in Tolkien's canon. So we've heard, that Radagast is a major player. He's a big part of the film.
And so it could be very sweet, even though Saruman, the character, has such contempt for Radagast. Wouldn't it be kind of sweet for him to do something really good? That's like get him a zinger, give the bad guys a zinger. That's what we're hoping for.
It should be noted that Ian McKellen is currently in London working on a play. We know Christopher Lee is also obviously in the UK. We're not sure where Radagast is or Sylvester McCoy is, but pretty good chance he's in the UK as well. If anyone recalls, 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3, at Comic-Con, a big rumor started that David Tennant, Doctor Who, was going to be in The Hobbit. And that was very confusing. In fact, it was even rumored he was going to be The Hobbit, which made no sense. It made no sense, but it got reported on internet sites from around the world. I think, honestly, what happened is somebody heard that Doctor Who was going to be in The Hobbit, Sylvester McCoy, and the rumor got spread and it became David Tennant. So I'm pretty sure that's mystery solved. Fun trivia.
The race of elves. Hugo Weaving returning. Elrond, half elven. Galadriel is played by Cate Blanchett.
She was in Peter Jackson's video last night wearing an amazing new costume. Beautiful.
Yeah, really, really cool. And there's Legolas. Greenleaf. He is the young prince of Mirkwood. Orlando Bloom has a relationship, obviously, with this story because they travel right through the kingdom of Thranduil, who is played by Lee Pace from one of the most beautiful movies you'll ever see in your life, The Fall, directed by Tarsem. Yes, you guys rent that movie or buy a copy. It's extraordinary. You will not be disappointed. And what were you going to say about...
I was going to say about Orlando Bloom, we've heard that his scene will be in a waterfall washing his hair. That might not be correct. But our favorite Brett McKenzie is also back.
Known to the hardcore fans as Figwit, which is an acronym for Frodo is great. Who is that? Oh, hi, Alex.
Also part of Flight of the Conchords, and
Yes.
a son of New Zealand, and super nice on top of all those other things.
Okay. And here we have a new character, Toriel, that will be played by Dominic Monaghan's co-star from Lost, Evangeline Lilly.
And ex-girlfriend.
Incidentally.
Time for a poll from the room. We can't get feedback instantly from the internet, but politely raise your hand if you think this is a great character addition. 1.
That probably represents 1/8 of the room, 1/10 of the room.
Raise your hand if that concerns you. And
There's a third.
So the rest of you are willing to wait and see, I take it. This is... Yes, this is not Legolas's girlfriend. It's all open to speculation, but I think I'll let you speculate.
I think I would. My first speculation is that the writers have instinctually noticed an absence of female characters in The Hobbit, and so perhaps interpolating some heroism, some bravery, some of those better aspects of what we see in Arwen will now perhaps be portrayed by Miss Lily. Let's hope for the best.
And I wonder, too, if in the realm of the elves, while the dwarves are there and Bilbo is there, it's not... It's written in a children's book. It's not terribly fleshed out, and we don't get a good feel for the culture of the elves. We don't know everything about their home. And, of course, on film, that all needs to happen. And so I wonder if the production got to a point and said, we need a little bit more here to flesh this out. So that'll be one of the things when you sit in the theater and the lights go down and the film rolls, that will be one of the things that you won't know about, and it'll be really interesting to see how it plays. Other major players.
Mr. Luke Evans as Bard, the guardsman of Lake Town.
This was a role that had big-name action star written all over it. People wanted Hugh Jackman, for example, and And this is a heroic guy, a manly man with a, bare chest and a hero, although perhaps reluctant a little bit. And so it's a very interesting role to go to Luke Evans.
The master of Lake Town, we've just recently learned, Stephen Fry, probably the greatest Oscar Wilde ever to appear on screen, and of course he made a nice breakfast for Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, as you remember. Gollum returns as Mr. Andy Serkis.
Now his involvement with the film, I know every person in this room knows, is as important as any other person's involvement in the film, I think. Gollum must be Gollum, right? Now, does everyone know Conan Stevens? He recently was in Game of Thrones, HBO's Game of Thrones.
That's good stuff.
He's a giant of a man, and he'll be playing Azog, a goblin. Great for Conan, great for us, but it's very informative about the story as well. Does everyone know Azog by raise of hands? Azog is an enemy to dwarves, and in front of the gates of Khazad-dûm, Azog, there's a great goblin and dwarf and orc war, bloody and decimating to both races, full of hatred. In fact, it's revenge. It's motivated by revenge for the dwarves. Something's happening. So this great conflict between goblins and orcs, between goblins and dwarves, we know is part of The Hobbit. The fact that Azog is here tells us that there's a context of revenge and hatred between these races. So it isn't just dwarves killing orcs occasionally. This is a deep-seated hatred that all the dwarves have, part of their motive for going back to the Lonely Mountain to reclaim their kingdom. And it was sparked by Azog actually carving in somebody's head, a dwarven head, and giving it back to the dwarves. I don't know if we'll see that on film, but we will see this mighty, huge mountain of a goblin, and
it's bad blood.
Really fantastic dwarf battle, which for me is probably what I'm looking forward more than any other aspect of the film. I cannot wait.
Because the writers have access to the appendices that are in The Lord of the Rings, they get lots of juicy details about these historic battles, and their placement in the timeline allows for really great dramatic flashbacks, of course. Bjorn is going to be played by Mikael Persbrandt, one of the most famous actors in Sweden. A very close friend of mine is from Stockholm, Sweden, and when she found out, she just fell out of her chair. Everyone in Sweden adores this guy, and I've yet to pick up. I would love to find one of his earlier films.
Word is, a little leak from the set, is that he's killing it, that people love what he is doing.
Cool. Yes, the Great Goblin will be a character realized by none other than Barry Humphries, who is known to most of the world as, Dame Edna. Dame Edna, the drag character with the outrageous frosty blue hair and the big glittery glasses. So I'm looking forward to two of my favorite openly gay actors, Ian McKellen and Barry Humphries, duking out in this great fight in the cave between Gandalf and the Great Goblin. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this.